What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Fourth Quarter Podcast. This is Big 3-0, episode 30, man. Kenny, how you feeling? Hey, we keeping it pushing, bro. You know what I'm saying? We keeping it pushing.
Feeling good as always. How you doing, bro?
I'm pretty good too, man. It's always exciting coming up here and doing this. I love these, you know what I'm saying? And for those, hey, we see y'all too. For those who watching, not hitting that damn like button, you know what I'm saying? Not show, hey, show some love, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just, we want to get out there. Even though it ain't even about that. Like I just said, we like coming up here and talking about our favorite sports, but make sure y'all supporting, you know what I'm saying? If you rocking with it. But we'll say that for later. But anyway, we're gonna get started, talking about the NFL. We just gonna touch on the little JJ Watt thing quickly, and then we're gonna move on to the Bucs because this offseason should be pretty exciting for them. If y'all didn't see already, the report actually just came out like an hour ago, I want to say. But JJ Watt and the Texans have parted ways. And me personally, I feel like it has something to do with Deshaun wanting to, be out. For those who didn't see this little snippet, I guess you could say video, it was a post game. I think it was their last game of the season. I don't know if they won or lost or not. I didn't watch. But JJ was basically telling Deshaun, like, we not supposed to be this bad, and basically apologizing to him, to Deshaun for, like, not holding up their end of the bargain, I guess, and management, and, like, just, and with that, I can tell he wanted to he wanted to leave there. But JJ Watt, it seemed like he been wanting to leave Houston for a while now, so it's interesting to see where he gonna go. How you feel about it?
I'm very curious to see where he go as well. This caught me by surprise. I mean, I knew that he wanted to leave the Texans, but he's been there for 10 seasons, so it still comes to me by surprise that it's official. Like they're releasing him. So I'm very interested to see where he goes. I think he'll go to. He said he wants to go to a championship team, which I don't blame him. I think he's going to end up going to a very high caliber team because, like I said, he's tired of losing. He's a free agent. He's able to go wherever he wants, pretty much, and he's going to get offers. He's a Hall of Fame player. He's a proven player. I think he's going to probably go to the Bucs. The Bucs, Ndamukong Suh is a free agent. I don't know if they're going to be bringing him back. It's probably going to depend on how much money Ndamukong Suh is looking for. But either way, I think J.J. Watt is going to help a very good team, and I think he still has some in the tank.
I agree. I don't know what team he's going to go on. I think the Bucks they like Sue, but like you said, it all depends on who's willing to take less at this
Right,
point. Um,
right.
but yeah, I mean, he, like everything else you said was facts. I mean, he's a proven player. We know what he's about, and like we talk about with basketball, like it's the same thing with all sports. When you get to a point where you just like you don't want to go out with nothing to show for it, it's like, okay, you're a three-time defensive player of the year, but it's like the ultimate goal is the ring. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like the little name players might not really care about it, but the big player, like the big name players, they at the end of the day, they want to go out with some bling. They want to go out saying, I once was a champion. You know what I'm saying? I got the job done. So I 100% agree with him. I mean, I don't know what their management was doing when they got rid of Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? I think he was the GM and coach at the time, and that dude was an
Bill
idiot.
O'Brien. Bill O'Brien.
I don't know, so what? Fuller is supposed to take you to the like. It's just that organization right now is a shit show. I don't blame neither one of them, but the CEO and chairman and all them, they keep on saying that Deshaun is staying, like he's not going anywhere. So this all, like I said, this also will be very interesting because I just feel like I don't know if they're saying that to like get him to stay, to say like, hey, we got your bag, we're not gonna let you go, and maybe change his mind. But in my mind, if I'm Deshaun, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is no questions to it.
It's a mind game. It's a mind game. I don't think they're going to keep him. So the mind game they're playing is they're pretty much acting like they're going to keep him so that he's worth more. Because if the other teams know that you're trying to get rid of somebody, they're not willing to trade you as much access, like as much players back, because they like you want to get rid of this person anyway. So
Right.
why
Now we
why
offer you the whole cow. We just give you a little cup of milk. Right. Exactly. Okay. So, and that's kind of what I figured. So he'll be gone to my knowledge, but it'll surprise me if he don't. And if he don't, they'll probably go 0-16. But I'm glad you brought up the Bucks. That'll segue us to the next topic. The Buccaneers. Tell me again, who are their free agents coming up to next year?
So obviously, guys, the Bucs just won the Super Bowl, and when you win the Super Bowl, it's hard to keep all those guys on one team. You have a salary cap. So they're the Bucs organizations, they're gonna have to figure out who they want to keep because they have plenty of free agents and they won't be able to keep them all. They won't. They're gonna have to make a decision. They don't have a choice. So the free agents that they have, and we're trying to figure out which ones we think they should keep, which one's the most important. So I'm gonna read off the free agents of the Buccaneers. And and then we're gonna say which one we think is the most important on the offensive side of the field, and then defense. So they have for defense, they have Shaquille Barrett, he's a free agent. Levante David, he's a free agent, and Ndamukong Suh, he's a free agent. Those are the big names on the defensive end that are free agents. I'll say it again: Shaq Barrett, Levante David, and Ndamukong Suh. So out of those three players, who do you feel like should be the top priority on the defensive end?
Like number one top priority, I would have to go with David, Levante David. But if I could, I would keep David and Barrett.
Though both of those guys are probably, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep both. I think the salary cap is actually going down, but if I had to pick one, I would actually pick Shaquille Barrett. I love getting pressure on the quarterback. I love pressure. And I feel like Levante David, he's more so the linebacker, like guarding people and the like guarding tight ends and stuff like that. Shaquille Barrett is more like your Von Miller type. He's not better than Von Miller when Von Miller was in his prime, but I'm just saying he's more of that type, as in I'm about to sack your ass. And I like that. I like that. So I would say Shaquille Barrett would be my number one priority on the defensive end.
If you could keep two, what two would you pick though? If you could.
Oh, definitely Shaquille Barrett and Levante David. I think they might be able to keep Sue. They might be able to keep Sue for a better minimum. Sue, he's been in the league for about 13 years, probably. I don't know the exact years. He's been in the league a very long time. He might be willing to take a veteran minimum for 2.5 million. So they might mess around and be able to keep all three of them. But Levante David and Shaquille Barrett, I'm pretty sure they're going to want a big contract. I'm pretty sure on that.
That's gonna take a big chunk.
Yeah.
Um, I see what you mean with pressure, but I mean, as you can see, I mean, he was probably the leading sack leader playoffs, but for that team. But I mean, I feel like that whole line, they all like so if they can keep the reason why I chose Levante is because I mean, you don't find too many like to me, he's already the second best after Bobby Wagner for the Seahawks. So him and Devin White, that duo, is just is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like when you build that defensive chemistry, I think that's more important than offensive chemistry, in my own personal opinion. So if you try to keep them together, I just think that'll take you further than it would if you just had Barrett, Sue, and some random that they pick up for a smaller contract. But that's just me. But I definitely get what you're saying with the pressure. Um, but what about the offensive side?
So on the offensive end, the Buccaneers, I'm gonna name their big name free agents. Leonard Fournette is a free agent. Antonio Brown's a free agent. Blaine Gabbert, backup quarterback. Well, hey, you got to have a backup. Blaine Gabbert, LaShawn McCoy, his ass didn't play much anyway. Um, Jaden Mickens, he did kick returns. Chris Godwin, TJ Logan, like your third or fourth string running back. And that's it. So I'll name it again. Oh, and Rob Gronkowski, if I didn't say him. And Rob Gronkowski. So out of those names, who would you be wanting to keep the most out of Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, and Leonard Fournette?
Definitely Rob, Big
Really?
Gronk, and Godwin. Fournette just, uh, I mean, it's all to your like what people think a good season is, but honestly, to me, he didn't have a good regular season. He played exceptional when it mattered, and I know some people might think like, well, that's what it counts, but the Bucs aren't a team that just want to get in the playoffs. They're a top team now, and I think seeding matters. So if you can't produce regular season, then I mean it's good that you did this one season with us, and I'm pretty sure they appreciate that. But I'm keeping Godwin and Gronk. AB, he's probably going to find somewhere else to go and get paid. Not a max deal or nothing like that, but he'll get some money thrown at him. I think They see that he didn't have any episodes off the field, so I think they can probably trust him. They say, I mean, they see he can still score. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still a top receiver in this league, so I think he'll be fine. They don't really need him. I think they just picked him up so another contender couldn't get him and be a threat. Um, which was nice by Brady, you know, and the Bucs organization. But I think they don't really need. I mean, they got Godwin if they sign him. They got Evans and they got the fast guy, so Scotty Miller. So he's not really like he's not a need. So me personally, I would take if I could, I would take Gronk and Godwin. But if I had to make one ultimate decision, I would probably go Godwin, your receiving core, and it's because just like the NBA is a scoring league. This is a passing league, you know. So I would go, and I'm not saying that Gronk is not dangerous, but I mean he took years off, and he'll be. It's not like he'll be a threat because I think he said if they don't sign him, then he's going to retire again anyway. So I think I would go with Godwin, young guy. He's good. Like you can't go wrong there.
Okay. I feel you. So on the offensive end for the free agents that I would put top priority for the Buccaneers would be Leonard Fournette. In the beginning of the year, he didn't start, but towards the end, he was the main featured back. I would try to keep Leonard Fournette. I wouldn't keep Gronk because they should be having OJ Howard coming back. OJ Howard was hurt for this whole year. Do your research on him. He went to Alabama. So if you got a younger tight end and probably a better tight end at this point in time, since Gronk is getting older, Gronk is not in his prime anymore. Gronk, you could go. Gronk, you can go. We got OJ Howard on his rookie contract. But Gronk is still a great blocker. Still today, he's a great blocker. I mean, he was opening some of those runs. He was helping opening some of those runs up for Fournette and Ronald Jones. So I would still let Gronk go. Come on, OJ Howard. I would keep Leonard Fournette, and I would keep Antonio Brown. I would try to bring Antonio Brown back. Like I said, offense is very important. Leonard Fournette, he helped out a lot, and I know you say his regular season he didn't do much,
Yeah,
but
I
hey,
felt where he didn't start as well. I just feel like even the touches he did get, he just didn't produce as much as he did in the playoffs. But go ahead.
I feel like Fournette. I don't feel like he's a great running back anymore, but I feel like when you put him with that offensive line and with those weapons around him, he could look great. So I would keep Leonard Fournette, and I would let LaShawn McCoy go.
Oh yeah,
I,
I went to him.
yeah, he didn't do much anyway. I would let him go, and I would let TJ Logan go. And like I said, I would keep Antonio Brown because he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Fame receiver, Antonio Brown. He wasn't a head case, and I think he's willing to take a pay cut to stay with Tom Brady. I think if he was to go to another team, he would try to get more money. But like I said, I think Antonio Brown is willing to take a pay cut, and I still think he's a Hall of Fame receiver. And I think he could put up big numbers, but he won't put up big numbers because the way the offense is set up. First off, he's not the only main guy. You got other weapons, so Antonio Brown's not going to get big numbers, but I still feel like he's a top talent. So I would keep Antonio Brown.
I can see where you're going with that. I mean, I just AB, man, that's my favorite receiver for those who didn't know. So I'm trying not to be biased. I just don't feel like they need him. Like that was Godwin's team before he got there. So I feel like it would be a slap in the face if they did that. And it's not like, I mean, to your, you know what I'm saying? Like your reasonings, they had a great team. Like he was a part of it. So it's like, why would you get rid of a receiver that you already think is good? I mean, do you think AB is better? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody does. So that's a stupid question. But I mean, I just feel like you can't go wrong with either. So I'm gonna keep the guy that's already been here. AB is gonna go and be successful and make money regardless. So I would let him go and I would explain that to him. And I'm pretty sure he shouldn't have an issue with that. I mean, that makes the most sense to me because I'm a loyalty guy and I know the league is not. So it wouldn't be, surprising if they did do something like that. But Godwin has been working for this moment, like with the Bucs. So I just feel like it's only right that they keep him over a guy that's been doing crazy stuff off the field and got a third chance, I guess you could say. And now that he's back on his feet, letting him go. Gronk, I mean, he is older, but I think we've seen glimpses of what he can do when, like, if he was called up. Because I feel like one thing I will agree with you on, they did have a decent offense. So it was to the point where they didn't really need Gronk until they needed him, if that makes sense. So like even in fourth, third down and in long situations, Tom would look for him. And that chemistry, you can't really find like that. That's history chemistry. Like they have the most, in a duo touchdowns in NFL history. So I feel like keeping Gronk, that definitely wouldn't hurt. And we know it, like just like you said about JJ Watt, we know his work. He's proven. So I just feel like it wouldn't be a bad thing to keep Gronk around. Like even if he's there to just, mentor OJ Howard. I don't know, but yeah, if it's up to me, I'm keeping Gronk and Godwin because Rojo, he was a dog. Like he's still a dog. Like so, it's not like because I mean, people might like the caught up in the moment. People they might say Leonard Fournette is better now, but I think Rojo is still the better back.
Oh, Ronald Jones. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. Um, they're both good backs. Neither one of them are great backs, but they're both good backs, especially in that offense. That offense, they're not asking either of them to do too much. Like they're not asking them to get 30 carries and get 200 yards. They don't have to do anything crazy. They just have to do enough to set up the play action. Even in the Super Bowl, the Buccaneers ran it to Fournette about 3 times just to set up the play action. So they just need somebody that can go in there, run behind a good offensive line, and just get a few yards. Just don't do anything stupid. And someone to catch dump offs, little drop off passes to from Tom Brady that Fournette isn't the best at, but
I
he's
was about
pretty.
to say. I'm glad you said it. I was gonna say he dropped he
Yeah, he
dropped a
dropped.
lot. They almost caught a goddamn interception, but hey, he made up for it.
Yeah, right. Cut it.
Um, but hey, I mean, those are our picks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let us know down in the comments who do y'all think they should keep and not keep? Who's the most important piece to y'all in the offensive and defensive side of that organization? It's definitely going to be tough. So yeah, make sure y'all leave a comment and let us know who y'all think they should keep. Moving on to the NBA. Um, Last night, Philly played Dame in Portland, and it was a pretty good game. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna jump into that. And our last topic of the day, I just want to touch on Curry a little bit. He had a 40 piece last night in a win against Magic. I think he shot like 10 for 16 from three or 10 from 19. One of them, I think it's 10 for 16. Had 40 points. And I got a nice stat for you guys that who likes Curry. Shout out to Ty. But we just gonna touch on him and then that'll be it. But starting off, um, Philly and Portland played last night. Portland took the dub. It was 114 to 118. Embiid had 35 points. Dame had 30. You know what I'm saying? Dame's going to Dame. Embiid actually been playing really well this year. To Kenny's point, he had 35. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't get much better than that. Ben Simmons had 11 boards and 9 assists with only one turnover. But uh, did that turnover cost them? You know what I'm saying? So we gonna jump into that. So Kenny, what you think about the game? Like what you think happened last night?
It was a good game. It was a good game. I thought Philly was gonna pull it out, but they didn't. Ben Simmons hurt them at the end. Uh, they were trying to go for the game winner. They were down two. Ben Simmons was passing the ball in. He did a horrible pass. A 2-pointer would have tied the game. A 3-pointer would have won the game. Ben Simmons threw a horrible pass and they lost the game. But throughout the game, a summary. It was a pretty back and forth game. Back and forth game. Joel Embiid had 23 points in the first half. He scored 35 total. But what happened in the end in the fourth quarter? Carmelo just went off. Carmelo just went off. At the end, he made like 3 threes in a row in the fourth quarter. Carmelo scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. Carmelo just went off, and Gary Trent went off as well. He was 5 out of 7 for 3 pointers.
Yeah, not
So
24. That's crazy.
so when you got Gary Trent making 5 threes, and when you got Carmelo going 4 out of 5 from 3 pointers, that's 80%. Melo went 4 out of 5. That's 80%. And to be honest, the fifth one, the one that he missed, was a heat check. He was hitting. He was hitting. He was hitting. He even made like a backboard shot when he wasn't even balanced. He made a backboard shot, and it was a good game. But It was a very good game. I mean, everybody did well except Tobias Harris. I mean, he shot 5 threes and he didn't make any of them. Tobias Harris, like I said, he took 5 threes and he didn't make any of them. But it was a very back and forth game. Steph Curry did pretty good. He had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a total of 15 points. Steph Curry took 7 threes and made 3, but he made a very clutch one. One of the threes that Steph Curry made was very important. And Tobias Harris really hurt them. 4 for 12, 0 for 5 from 3-point range. And I don't know why, but Tobias Harris played the most minutes on the court. Um, he wasn't the best player on the court, so I'm not saying the best player should always play the most minutes, but I don't know why he played the most minutes. He played 38 minutes. Joel played 35 minutes. I guess Joel he's so-called not in shape. He's a big man or whatever, but I don't want to see Tobias Harris playing more minutes than Joel Embiid. I mean, if you're out of shape, to me, that's not a good excuse because you want to know how you get in shape. You get on the court and you play. That's how you get in shape. That's my strategy. So I don't want to hear that. But yeah, so moral of the story: Ben Simmons did a horrible pass and lost in the game. Ben Simmons had a very good game until he did that bad pass. He was 10 for 12. He looked like he's developing some post moves. He played good. He just choked in the end. He choked in the end. That's what it came down to.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you said, but it's just one of those things where I tell you, like, I'm not worried, and I know you probably aren't either, because like I was telling you about Brooklyn when they lost, I think it was to the Rockets or the Wizards, one of them. But anyway,
Wizards.
lost, and I told you how one possession or one shot could have changed the game. So I just feel like with just two of those threes from Tobias Harris, it would be we would probably be talking about a different game. And I know everybody's not going to hit every night. So I just it's a whatever loss for Philly. I mean, they know what they have to improve on. Yeah, I agree with you. Embiid has to, he has to. One moment. Okay, he has to get back in shape or get in better shape. I guess you could say like he has to improve his. It's the same thing I say for Zion. Like to get in shape, like you just said, you have to hoop, like put in the time, like do it. Like, so he don't get no excuse from me. I mean, he still had a good game, 13 for 25, 35 points. I mean, it's not much more you can ask from him. I would like to see double digit rebounds. But Ben Simmons didn't attempt a three. I feel like that hurts him too. So like we talked about in the beginning when we ever discussed Philly, I feel like when you're Ben Simmons and you're one dimensional, it makes it easier to guard you as a team. So it's the same. It's the opposite for Curry. So when you're so dangerous, it makes teams. It makes the defensive sequence or the defensive setup harder to guard you because we have to guard you and like double you as soon as you cross half court. So and it's the like I said, it's the opposite for Ben Simmons because it's like we're not even gonna guard you when you stand at the 3-point line or the free throw line at that. So it just makes it tough. So that's my sole reasoning why I don't think they'll be able to pull it out when it comes to making it to the finals based on that reason alone. Because the teams are coaches, they're going to let they're going to let the superstars get their numbers up in the regular season. The only time you get your numbers in the postseason as a superstar is when you just got it like that. So your ADs, your LeBrons, your Kevin Durant's, etc., Steph Curry's, etc. So but when it comes to superstars or stars like Ben Simmons and Giannis's, we're gonna let you do all that stuff regular season, but we're going to come up with a defensive scheme for you in the postseason, and it won't work. So, and that's why I still feel like Brooklyn will pull it out, and Philly won't be able to because their offense is just. I mean, Tobias Harris is not the type of guy that I would say he won't have another game like this. I mean, it's just what it is. Like Embiid is the only person you can really count on from this team. Danny Green played 31 minutes. He scored 5 points. And that's exactly why we got rid of his ass. So I'm not worried about Philly at all.
I still think Philly. I still think Philly's gonna get out the East. I mean, we could talk about Ben Simmons shooting, which it is important. Shooting is the most important thing in the league. It is. It's very simple. But everybody else in the starting lineup is capable of shooting. So it's not like they have him and then the other guys that are starting with him can't shoot good. I mean, you got Tobias Harris, decent shooter. Danny Green, you got to respect it, even though he misses a lot. You still have to respect it. Steph Curry, rather he's harder coach, you have to respect it. And Joel Embiid is not a great shooter, but he's a decent shooter. I don't just want him shooting all day. And and nobody's perfect. I mean, just like how you're saying that Ben Simmons, his shooting is gonna hurt. I mean, the Nets, their defense is gonna hurt. Their individual defense. Shooting is very important. It's the most important thing in the NBA. And defense is important. Defensive liabilities, that hurts you. And
But
to
I
be
think
honest,
that's where we butt heads. I feel like I'm going to take the shooting and you're going to take the defense. And I think that's why we just can't, agree to that because I just want to put out a stat. As a team, Portland shot 44% from three last night and Philly shot 22.
from
And
three,
yeah. So it's like, so you saying these guys can shoot, but they can't afford to have games like this in postseason. They can't. You
oh
have
yeah, yeah.
you saying all these
I
guys can shoot. I see 0, 5, 0 out of 5, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 2 from Embiid. Only one shot 50%, and 1 out of 2. I mean, that's not great. I mean, no, it's good as far as that, but I'm saying like the amount of like the attempts. Uh Embiid 0 for 0 didn't even attempt. I mean, Simmons didn't even attempt. Steph Curry 3 out of 7. Howard, we know he's not going to shoot. Maxi 0 for 3. Thibault 1 for 3. Korkmaz 0 for 4. So I just feel like, I mean, defense it does matter. Not when I can outscore you.
Philly. I mean, they're 3 pointers. They're not going to be the best 3-point shooting team. They won't be. They shot 27 threes yesterday as a team, and they made six. That's not good. 6 out of 27 from 3-point range. That gets you 22%, 22.2, which is probably not going to cut it. I mean, it's not going to cut it against your top teams. Tobias Harris probably won't ever go 0 for 5 again, but he could. It's not the biggest surprise to me in the world. But they only lost by 4 points, and to be honest, they didn't really lose because of the 3-point shooting because they lost because of Ben Simmons towards the end of the game. He hit a horrible pass, and they didn't even get a shot attempt up for the game winner or the game tire. But I think they'll be fine because I understand. Like, yeah, pretty much you're going with the scoring of the Nets, and I'm going with the defense.
Yeah, and that's and like I said, that's why we butt heads on this. But we'll see which one comes out victorious. I stated, the NBA now is an offensive scoring league, and so is like the NFL passing league scoring. So that's how I look at it. So I'm gonna go with the scoring. Just to give you like a an example of what I mean by that, why shooting is so important. Look at Rondo. He was critical for us last year in the postseason, knocking down shots. Nobody really expected that, and I just want to like have you wrap your head around that. We were really like unbeatable because everybody on the court were like, because Bron is kind of like Ben Simmons, or I should say the other way. Ben Simmons is kind of like Bron, but Bron is saying, I can shoot as well, but I'm still going to kick it out to my shooters. I can knock down the three. I think even Dwight hit one. I think we were blowing him out by 20, but even Dwight hit one. Rajon Rondo saying, I'm a facilitator as well, coming off the bench, but I can shoot as well. I'm not Boston Rondo no more. Alex Caruso knocking down threes. Danny Green, ass, but he still get you a couple. KCP, we know what he brings to the team. So it's just like, and I think that's why we went for Marc Gasol. Wanted to add more shooting, but I honestly think we should have kept JaVale McGee. That was a terrible decision to pick up Marc Gasol. But I think we solely got him because he spaces the floor even more, being able to be a big man and knock down at least 1 3 a game. So that's why I say that. But I mean, like I said, we'll see. But I just feel like when they all turn it on, Joe Harris, Kyrie, Kevin Durant, James Harden, it's going to be hard to stop that team from scoring, especially from the three. I don't care how many layups Ben Simmons can get you. Last time I might have checked out, three is greater than two. So
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it might be some surprises this year. I mean, I didn't think the Heat would make the championship, so maybe we'll get another surprise. Even though Ben Simmons, I mean, he's not a scorer, but sometimes he's capable of giving you 20 to 25 points. I mean, yesterday he scored 23. So even though his jump shot is broke, he's still going to score some points. Like, you don't have to shoot to score. Obviously, it's important, but you don't have to shoot to score. Yesterday he took 12 shots and he made 10 of them, and he scored 23 points. So we can always talk about him not being able to shoot, But that's just a weakness in his game. But he actually has a lot of good things on his game too.
I mean, but I feel like personnel matters as well. And who is their starting center? Nurkic or Cantor? So
Yeah.
I feel like it matters who you go against sometimes because I feel like say they did meet in the playoffs. Okay, now you have to go against Kevin Durant and DeAndre Jordan, and one of them is on their last leg, and we both agree that the other one is not a great defender. But like I said, you start to play better in postseason. So I mean, yeah, you could do that to Cantor, Ben Simmons, because you go in there and go 10 for 12 on Jordan and Kevin Durant.
We'll see.
But yeah, man, that was the game last night. I'm like I said, I'm not worried about Philly, but I still my pick is still Brooklyn. Moving on, like I said, we just wanted to touch on Curry a little bit. Um, so they played the Magic last night, and they are currently sitting at 14 and 12. I don't know what seed they are. Let me see.
Eight.
Eight seed.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're eighth seed right now. How do you feel about them? Do you still think that they can? Do you think they can maintain that and still make it to the playoffs?
Um, I think they can. I don't think it's guaranteed that they make it, but they should make it. I mean, the eighth seed, your record won't have to be too good to make it. I mean, so yeah, I think they'll be. I think they'll make it. I think they'll be in the eighth or seventh seed.
Okay. So like we told y'all, Curry, how you feel about him? Like as far as like, so I think we talked about this at the beginning as well. If they make it, do you think he can slide another MVP based on the way he's been playing?
Oh no, I don't think. I don't think he's gonna get MVP, and I don't think he should get MVP. I don't think you should get MVP when you got Joel Embiid doing what he's doing, and Philly is still first in the East, to my knowledge, or if not second. And then you're barely squeaking in at the eighth seed or the ninth seed, and you barely squeak it. Now, if he gets this team to the fourth seed, that's different. But I don't think he should get MVP with around a 500 record, and they're in the eighth seed. And I understand that Joel Embiid has a better team, but to be honest, we say that Ben Simmons isn't all that, and we say that Tobias Harris, like you can't depend on him or whatever people say about him. So, and it's not like the Warriors team is just straight horrible. I mean,
It is, but
Andrew Wiggins, like he doesn't suck. I mean, Andrew Wiggins, he contributes to that team. He just went 8 out of 13 from the field against the Magic last night. 8 out of 13, 2 for 5 3-point range. That's 40% from 3-point range. So yeah, they have a pretty decent team, and Draymond Green, I understand he's not gonna really give you anything on offense. He's still a great defender to me. He's a great defender. He's a great passer. He gets rebounds and stuff. So I think they have a pretty good team. Kelly Oubre, he doesn't suck. I mean, he's a pretty good player. I mean, you got Kelly Oubre. He went 6 for 12 yesterday. He went 3 out of 7 from 3-point range. 3 out of 7 is pretty good. That's just what Steph Curry did yesterday as well. So you got Kelly Oubre going 3 for 7. Kelly Oubre had 10 rebounds, pretty good defender. He's an athletic guard. So, and when James Wiseman come back, who knows how much better he'll be getting. So I just don't think that he should get the MVP with being the eighth seed. I mean, I don't think so.
um, so I just want to state you brought up they're first in the East. I just want to state that the eighth seed in the East is 11 and 13, and you just stated that Curry in the West they're 14 and 12, and they're the eighth seed. So I think without even speaking on that, we can kind of gather what I'm trying to say here. So with that being said, Curry is now averaging 30 points a game after last night's performance. He has been playing exceptionally well. A lot of people said he couldn't put a team on his back before the season. I remember that. Yep, vaguely. A lot of my friends, they said Curry could not carry a team. Draymond Green probably averages 3 points a game. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm willing to bet he averages under 5 points a game. So I just want to state that when you say something like that, I mean, don't get me wrong, his defense, I think he just had a triple double. Uh, well, no, that was another. But he's been playing well as far as getting boards, getting assists, and getting steals. But
Uh,
uh, Andrew Wiggins, I mean, he knows how to play basketball. I mean, I think he was the number one pick, so he got that for a reason. So excuse me, but he just doesn't have it anymore. I mean, he's not a guy you're gonna say he gonna give me 30 tonight. And I'm not saying you have to get 30 to be considered a good player, but that team is still trash to me. I'm standing on my word. I feel like they are playing better, but like I said, I feel like a lot of people are prisoners of the moment, so they see that the record is good now, so they gotta like change how they feel. But I still feel like the Warriors as a team sucks. They're just starting to gel more as a team and like get with the Warriors program coming from different teams. So with that being said, I just feel like Curry, I think his shot of making the MVP or getting MVP should be just as high as anybody else's because he's going out there every night risking injury for a subpar team, doing everything he possibly can to win these games. He's averaging 30 points a game, and that's very impressive.
So he's risking injury. So wait, what?
Because if we're being honest, let's be they're not winning anything this year, and I know like that sounds bad to say that, but something like so I feel like from 5 and up, you genuinely have a good chance to win. Actually, does that mean the other team shouldn't just go out there and compete? No, but I'm saying like his number two guy isn't there, so they're really playing for nothing at the like right now is what I'm saying. So they even if they make it to the playoffs, they'll be out first round.
I'm not. It's gonna be hard for me to put him in the top tier, like the 3 or 4 players for the MVP so far, because you're and when I got somebody like Joel Embiid averaging 29 points and 11 rebounds, and his team is the first seed, and then I got this, yeah, in East, and then I got Steph Curry averaging probably I don't know what he averaged. Let's just say 32 points or whatever. Matter of fact, let me look up and see how much Curry. Could you look that up for me? But like I said, Joel Embiid is averaging 29 points and 11 rebounds, and his team is first in the East. And then you got Steph Curry averaging whatever he's averaging, but his team is eighth in the East, barely making the playoffs. So it's just difficult for me to put him in the top tier for MVP. And as well, I hear you like to talk about Ben Simmons like he's not all that of a player. So in some aspects, how you're trying to downplay Draymond Green, we can kind of say him and Ben Simmons is even if you want to,
No,
because you
no.
try to act like Ben Simmons is so bad.
Hold on, time out. I'm gonna get you those stats. Curry averages 35 and 5 assists, 5.5 to be exact, and 6 rebounds, 5.9 to be like the real stat. But I mean, we're gonna round that up. So he averages 35 and 6 for as a point guard. That's 6'3".
Okay, so their numbers are about what?
And to compare now to jump back on what you just said, that was blasphemous. To compare a true defensive player of the year at his height, playing who started the small ball, I want to say, and um who can still knock down the shot when needed.
Who?
Draymond Green.
No, he cannot knock it down when needed. No, he can't. You just said he averages like 3 points.
But because he's choosing not to score, that I can't.
He's choosing not to score, or he's incapable of scoring.
He's choosing not to score.
No, he can't score, nigga. That's why
He's
he's not
choosing
scoring.
not to score.
So you think
Hold on,
Draymond
time
Green?
out. So you mean to tell me that a player that we talked about before in the past, who is more important to the Warriors winning those championships, are you comparing him to Ben Simmons?
They're very similar players. They're both liabilities scoring the ball.
No,
They're both great defenders. They're both great passers. They're a very similar player. So pretty much what you're trying to do is, which I don't like, and you so slick. You like Curry. You like Curry. So what you're trying to do is,
true.
yeah, you like Curry. So what you're trying to do is act like Kelly Oubre sucks. You're trying to act like Andrew Wiggins sucks, and you're trying to act like Draymond Green sucks to make it seem like Steph Curry is doing better than what he's doing, and you're trying to act like Joel Embiid is playing with all these great players when you say Ben Simmons isn't all that. So that's why I'm saying how Ben Simmons and Draymond Green, they're kind of even in some way.
Wait, time out. When did I ever say any of these things? I said the Warriors as a team, yes, they suck, but I never said Draymond Green. So I say he's playing bad this year. But you know, Draymond, he's a hooper to me.
I'm going off this year.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I don't think he sucks. He's just not playing up to his level of I've seen him play.
I'm not basing.
And I never said those players on Philly sucks either. I just said I don't have them making it. Only person I ever talked about on that Philly team was Danny Green and Ben Simmons. And I'm telling you why. You're comparing, and they can be compared. So I don't want people to say you definitely can compare the two, but I think it's obvious which player is better when they're at their peak. You're talking about a guy, the only person in NBA history to record a triple-double without points. He had 10 plus steals, 10 plus rebounds, 10 plus assists. A guy who can knock down a three when needed back in their prime. Yes, he could shoot like he got a backpack on his back. Versus a guy who people don't even guard him when he's standing at the 3-point line. So Draymond Green is definitely a better player. He's off this year. I mean, like I just said, people, I don't care how they want to go into interviews and say, "Oh, I'm playing my hardest." That's bullshit. They know they're not making any noise without Klay Thompson. And Curry is still going out there saying, "Well, I'm going to hoop." But Draymond is like, I mean, I'm gonna facilitate, but I'm not doing much more. I've seen him turn down open layups to try to get another assist. Now, does that mean he sucked? No, he's just not playing up to the level of play that we know from Draymond Green, championship Draymond Green. But let's not get it twisted. Like Ben Simmons could even sniff his jockstrap.
Oh, so Draymond Green is better than Ben Simmons.
I feel like next year when everybody's healthy, we're going to see the real Draymond.
Oh, so you feel like next year he's gonna go back to averaging whatever he's been averaging because you don't think he's trying to score.
No, I'm not gonna say, like, I feel like if he had an open lane, he will. But like I just stated, and you can go back and do your research. He's turned down layups and jump shots this year for an extra pass, the extra unnecessary pass.
Okay, let me ask you this one more time. So Draymond Green is better than Ben Simmons.
This year, no. I said because I know what you're trying to do. This season, Ben Simmons is not. I mean, Draymond Green is not better than Ben Simmons this season. No. But if you want to go back and talk about the championship Warriors, Ben Simmons is better. I mean, Draymond Green is better than Ben Simmons. Yes, in my opinion.
So pretty much to summarize what you're saying to me. What you're saying to me is Steph Curry's going out there balling out, and you're saying Draymond Green isn't going to play 100% because there's no point because they're not going to go too far in the playoffs this year. Is this what you're saying?
Correct. That's how I feel.
Okay, so next year you're saying when a Hall of Fame player comes back like Klay Thompson and Draymond Green takes it up a notch, you're pretty much saying once all that happens that they're going to make the Western Conference Finals. That's what you're saying, pretty
No,
much.
where are you getting all that from?
No, because you're saying Draymond Green, you're saying he's able to score. He just doesn't want to. There's no point in wasting his energy. So you have next year, you're saying Draymond Green is going to be better. So if he plays for real next year,
I think they'll be a deeper playoff seed and they'll go further than they go this year. But no, I'm not saying they'll make it to the Western Conference Finals.
you're trying to, I see, you're trying to stay.
So wait, let me ask you this question. Back when in the Warriors' prime, do you think Ben Simmons is better than Draymond back in that time? Because I would love to compare their attributes with you. Defense, I mean, one has an award for it. Um, you said it yourself, Draymond Green is a great passer. So which one do you think is the better passer? I'm going to go with the one who probably has more assists. Rebounding. That's kind of like what you can. I wouldn't be mad if you gave that to either or, but I'm gonna go with the guy who gets a lot, who like has a lot of rebounds. So I mean, shooting. I mean, neither one of them are the best, but we know which one is better. That's pretty obvious. So what are you saying to me right now? You acting like what I'm saying is blasphemous.
Ben Simmons averaged 8 assists this year.
And Draymond averages 8 assists this year.
8 on the dot?
8 on the dot.
Okay, so by the stats, they're even because Ben Simmons averages 8.0.
So I'm looking at it right now. Draymond Green averages 8.0.
Okay, so moral of the story, we're not getting off topic, but moral of the story for the MVP tier 1, I don't think Curry should be in the top 3 for MVP because he has some people over there.
And so
he has help.
But all the people that you're naming I'm sorry about that. All the people that you're naming have a way better team than him. So Joker, that's obvious. LeBron James, that's obvious.
That's
Embiid,
obvious.
That's obvious.
You said Joel Embiid is obvious?
For better team? Are you crazy? All these guys that you're naming have a obviously better team than Steph and Curry. If you say that they is not obvious, we can wrap this podcast episode up right now.
I guess we're wrapping it up.
What team is? Are you like you're joking, right? Like you're playing?
You're saying you're saying Embiid's team obviously has more help than Curry?
Yes.
I don't know about that because I'm Shake Milton, Tyrese Maxey, Danny Green.
Oh, but wait, I thought we had to respect that.
We had to respect who?
Danny Green. You don't care how
Oh,
bad he's doing, you still have to
yeah,
respect it.
you still have to respect it, but we know he's
Okay.
not. We know he's not good anymore.
But I'm going off your words. Don't shoot the messenger.
You still have to respect his shot because of what he has done. But just he's not a good shooter anymore. He's not as good anymore. Overall, he's not a good player.
And I'm willing to bet that before we had this conversation, you would still take him over Kelly Oubre. Come on.
Oh no, Kelly Oubre is better than Danny Green. Are you crazy? I want you to say with a straight face that Kelly Oubre is
I
not
was
better.
asking you, would you take Danny Green over Kelly Oubre?
Absolutely not. Kelly Oubre is way better than Danny Green. He's younger. He's fresher. He's more athletic.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about his intangibles. Okay, and now I
Yes.
see why. Okay,
So I'm looking at the roster and I'm like,
he's a
I,
three-time champion on three different teams.
I'm looking at the roster, man, and it to me their teams is about what I'm not letting Curry slide being the eighth seed, and I'm looking at Joel Embiid. He's leading his team. He's the best player on his team. He's
But
leading his
people
team to
call,
the
but
first in the East.
no, he's the best center in the league to us. I know some people say Joker, but even if it's 1 and 2, second best, first best, okay, he's the best center in the league or second best. Ben Simmons, to a lot of people, he's top tier. Danny
Top
Green, you still
top tier.
respect
Who
it.
who thinks he's top tier?
Seth Curry, we both talk about him, young, scrappy player, can hit the three, play defense. And then Tobias Harris, somebody you said they'll need to win in the postseason. So he's obviously good to you. Are you seriously going to sit here and say that that five is not better than um, Kelly Oubre, Wiggins, Curry, Wiseman, and Draymond Green?
Ah, you slick. You leaving out. So Arias Pascal, you leaving him out?
We didn't name bench.
I'm looking at the whole board. To me, the Warriors. To me, Steph Curry and Joel Embiid, they have even teams. They have even teams.
And that's we gonna wrap it up right there, man. Make sure y'all definitely comment and start put some medicine in the comments because Kenny he needs some medicine.
Oh,
This is ridiculous.
hold on. I have a question. Guys. So before we get off, I just want to ask: is it obvious that Joel Embiid has way more help than Steph Curry? Just look at the rosters. Look at the rosters. Joel Embiid, he has Danny Green.
You wanna hold on? You like stats? Look at the stats. Like, go see all they're averaging 3-point percentage, field goal percentage, and you come back and you tell me.
I'm just looking at the roster, man. I'm looking at rosters, man. I'm not letting him off the hook.
Kent Bazemore, Brad Wanamaker, Kevin Looney. Are you serious?
Kevin Looney actually doesn't. He's better than Dwight Howard
Dwight Howard just won a championship.
with the GOAT. Of course he did. Like I said, Looney's better than Dwight. Looney's better than Dwight.
No, not based on what I seen last year. I don't watch a lot of Philly. I'm not gonna lie. Based on if I'm going off what I seen for him in what he did for us last year, I'm taking Dwight Howard over Kevin Looney.
I'm basing it off this year.
Well, I haven't seen too much of neither. And Kevin Looney,
He's hurt now.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I'm going with, yeah, I don't, yeah. That's a tough one. But like I said, based on what I said last year, I'm gonna go with Dwight. But if we go up this year, I honestly can't tell you because they both are average.
Oh yeah, they're about what, but they're both the backup centers. Or actually, Looney might have started. But
What I'm saying to you is, I feel like more people would say. I don't even feel like this is a debate. I feel like we're gonna see in the comments, Philly, Philly, Philly. I mean, I hope people with brain would say that. But if you look at so you can either go Curry then Embiid or Embiid then Curry if you want to go down a tier list. Then after that, it goes
Tobias
Harris.
Andrew Wiggins.
No, Ben Simmons. You ask the media people, Ben Simmons is the next best player out of those players. They might even put him above Tobias Harris. That's how I feel like I'm the only person who don't like Ben Simmons. But either way you want to chop it up, Embiid, Steph, whatever, Ben or Tobias, let's just say Tobias, Ben Simmons. Then you got Wiggins. I'll throw that in there for you. Then after that, I feel like it's going to be all Philly. They're going to take Steph Curry. They're going to take fucking who else is on that damn team? Shit, some people take Milton.
All right, y'all. If you made it this far, just say who has more help, Steph Curry or Joel Embiid. Again, who has more help, Steph Curry or Joel Embiid?
I don't even
We
know how to
out.
have the conversation, bro. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Like I told y'all in the beginning, man. We see y'all watching, man. Just show some support. You know what I'm saying? Like the video, comment if y'all have any opinions. You know what I'm saying? We will respond. We check it every day. And we thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all share with your friends too, because like I tell y'all every episode, this is the best sports podcast on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna wrap it up. We out.